We've heard abortion proponents or supporters of this drug say that this drug is safer than Advil or safer than Tylenol, and we know that 1 in 25 people who take Advil at the FDA approved dose don't end up in the emergency rooms.
Dr. Christina Francis, CEO of the American Association of Pro-Life OBGYNs, is one of the plaintiffs in the first high-stakes abortion case at the Supreme Court since the overturning of Roe v Wade in 2022. In FDA versus the Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine, she and other pro-life medical doctors are challenging the Food and Drug Administration's approval of mifepristone, the first of 2 pills used in the abortion pill regimen. The drug works by cutting off necessary nutrients for the unborn baby's survival, essentially starving the child to death. In an interview alongside one of her attorneys, she says the FDA removed important safeguards that it had in place for mifepristone since its approval in 2000.
When the FDA originally approved these drugs, it recognized that they were high-risk drugs and there needed to be certain safeguards in place.
In 2021, it removed one of the biggest safeguards, in-person doctor visits, allowing these pills to be sent through the mail.
And this is really dangerous for women because it then does not allow anyone to ensure that she does not have an ectopic pregnancy, which is a life-threatening complication of pregnancy. It also doesn't enable us to ensure that we know how far along in the pregnancy she is. And again, the rate of complications increase dramatically the farther along she is.
Last year, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals agreed with the Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine, ruling that safeguards should be put back in place for mifepristone. The Justice Department, along with mifepristone manufacturer Danco Labs, immediately appealed that decision to the U.S. Supreme Court, reiterating in its petition that the drug is safe, saying, "Study after study has shown that when mifepristone is taken in accordance with its approved conditions of use, serious adverse events are exceedingly rare."
I would like to invite the DOJ to come into my emergency room and see the women that I have cared for that are suffering these horrendous complications. FDA acknowledges that 1 in 25 women, and this was even before these essential safeguards were removed, 1 in 25 women will go to the emergency room for a complication.
Now, the High Court will have the final say on mifepristone, with oral arguments scheduled next week and a decision likely out in the summer. Many worry that the scope of the case goes beyond mifepristone and could even impact the FDA's authority to approve other drugs. Kelly Fedoric, senior counsel at the Alliance Defending Freedom, says this case only concerns mifepristone.
We are unaware of any other time where the FDA has done something with the safeguards it originally said were necessary and then chose to remove those safeguards for a drug they knew was high risk. They acted recklessly and should be held accountable for that recklessness.